Just kind of people just need to know, like, what is the Gifford Tech, I guess, doing when you trade ICOSA for the iBurn. It's right. That's what we're talking about, right? That's how it works. Because I'm
They're
still trying to
connected.
figure it out myself, but I think I got like a little bit of an idea.
Yeah, so the two systems are definitely interconnected now. GIF was created as a builder's token to test out our hypothesis on how we think Pulsar is going to work out in a certain iteration later in the future, as well as a portion of what's going to be working on the Ethereum blockchain to bridge users from a different ecosystem that not every one of them is familiar that PulseChain even exists. So we've gotten some eyes in that regard, and we've actually brought some of the people that were building on some of the protocols over in Ethereum to come over and look at PulseChain because of it as we announced it. So we launched, and it was a stealth launch. In fact, even the team didn't know that the coin was coming out, and just happened to catch it on Deck Screener one day as some new coin. And so I reached out to my developer at GIF and I said, "What is this yours, man, or did someone just steal your name?" And he goes, "Yeah, it's an experimental builder's token just to test some of our ideas." I said, "Great, well, let's keep doing it. Let's take a look at it and let's see what we can do with it and make sure that what we think is going to happen with Pulsar once we bridge it over here, and a certain element of what we have working on the Ethereum side for Pulsar is going to work, so we can start drawing people over here." And it took off like gangbusters. I think it exceeded our expectations by many X's compared to where we expect it to be at this point in time. So then we built iBurn because we've always wanted to. We're big fans of the icosahedron ecosystem. We're big fans of Alex. We've talked. GIF especially was actually in the private chats in the private mod group with Alex back in the days when he was discussing how he was going to build icosa, and so he was very involved with those discussions. And so he's even bigger into icosa and hedron than myself and even RG and Larry Kool-Aid. So we always wanted to do something with it because we know it's such a dynamic system and we love it.
So if I can just interject in here,
yeah,
I'm actually, it's really starting to kind of click and make a lot of sense for me. Basically, you guys kind of developed this like the Gifford Tech, right? And the iBurn is just kind of like the first instance of the Gifford Tech of being applied. And you guys are going to say, hey, look, this is what our technology can do, and we're showing you what it can do on icosa.
Yep.
And the whole idea is that you take the icosa and you send it through the protocol with 1,500 PLS attached, you know, which is about 9 cents.
And it's either icosa, by the way. So the protocol accepts both P and E icosa.
And then it spits out one iBurn on the other side.
That is correct. Boom. And it sends the icosa, either one of the icosas, to the burn address or the dead address. So it is completely gone, taken out of circulation. We can't touch it as a team. No other users can. Nobody can take advantage of that. It completely removes it from supply. So it is no longer circulating.
I just want to say it kind of reminds me of a Roach Motel where the icosa checks in, but it doesn't check out.
Radcon right there for sure. So
I see some people in the chat too, and I think it's one of those tech, and the reason I got so fascinated with, and I've created a lot of content around it, and I got a deep dive on coming tomorrow with GIF. I think Kool-Aid's going to stop by for as long as he can too, just to really drill into the details. But at a simple level, I mean, just think about there's GIF, and then there's this token, just PRC20 GIF, and you can take that and pulse, and you can mint PGIF. You can mint another token with it. When you do that, it gets burned. The GIF gets burned. The PGIF gets bought and burned off the market at a certain cadence and all that stuff too. But it's essentially, think about a billion supply of a token called GIF that's shared now between the PGIF. There can only be a billion of the two because one's getting burned. The buying's happening. You have this economic energy going through a wheel, and then you have the protocol iBurn, which is applying the same like permeable tokenomics to icosa. As Kinetic said, you can use both E icosa or P icosa. It's burning icosa, and it's also buying and burning PGIF. So there's this like downward funnel of like economic energy going back to GIF and PGIF and stuff too, while also helping, hopefully, I mean, we'll see, it's an experiment, we'll see how it goes, but perhaps helping peg eICOSA and pICOSA because it accepts both and creates that like need for that. And you're burning it too, or sending it to the data address. So you're getting rid of it. It's gone out of circulation. And does that make it deflationary? Well, we'll see on the mechanics there. I got some questions, or I want to talk to Giff about what about Watsas? If people start burning those, that's creating inflation too. Like that kind of like tug and war too is going to be interesting. But it's a very I mean, the coolest thing, okay, let's say, hey, you just heard about this. Hey, you look at the price chart, you see it's went up a lot and stuff too. The question I would ask, like new people looking at this, even if they're interested and they understand the buy and burns and all the stuff, how it works, and they think the tech is cool, like, do you think it's going to stop here? Do you think there's going to be more protocols that are going to be built on it? The team doesn't do a lot of expectation stuff, but this technology, it was just applied to ICOSA. I was talking to Access today. Will be it'd be cool. I think I met a lot of people like, hey, can you apply that to Ink? If Ink is leverage on Pulse and PulseX, if you could speculate that far, I think Richard's even mentioned that.
A question in the chat, if you can maybe.
Yeah, so on Hex too, I think we talked about Hex, or I mentioned it somewhere, and it's like, well, if we did it for ICOSA, it's kind of going back to Hex anyways, because if you think of ICOSA as leverage on Hex, it's to, at least for me, the way I look at it is like, it's cool to do like a leverage on leverage play, where you build it for something that's already leverage, such as Ink, if you consider that leverage on Pulse and PulseX. For Hex, I think, at least for now, like who knows, you could do it for any protocol, right? But ICOSA kind of like fits the Hex niche for now. Who knows if there'll be like iHex in the future, but I think I like the leverage on leverage building for it. I think that's cool. So maybe Ink, maybe other stuff that's leveraged too. But anyways, that's like a broad overview. Kinetics, correct me if I got any of that wrong, but I feel like that's trying to give people a picture of the GIF ecosystem, and who knows what's next.
If I could just chime in real quick, I just want to say, like, I was trying to figure out, I'm like, what is this iBurn thing? What is that kind of about? And then I'm like researching that, and I kind of just realized that ICOSA is just the first instance of this technology being applied, and it can basically apply.
I think GIF technically would be right. It's like GIF would you made PGIF with GIF, so now you have the permeable on token PGIF, and then ICOSA would be the first one applied to an existing protocol. You could say it like that, I guess, an existing project out there like that. But yeah, exactly. Why not Ink? Why not? I've heard Kinetics mention another coin the other day when I was listening. I'll listen to all the streams I can whenever they're even not on my channel, and you get to hear little nuggets here and there. So who knows which coin's next? And each coin that's built upon, I wonder if it'll keep burning the PGIF. I wonder, that kind of loop each one is built upon. If you do the iBurn, you take the ICOSA and the Pulse, and you mint iBurn from it, and that's burning PGIF as well. Will every protocol kind of follow that? And will that just make the GIF and PGIF more rare? More demand, more speculation and stuff there. I don't know. I've never seen a system like this.
Yeah, sorry about that. I've been on meetings all day long and didn't plan ahead for my headset dying on me real quick. So I had to get reconnected.
We had no idea it died. We thought you were just being quiet. I was talking to you, and I was like, you don't want to talk right now. Let's just keep going. Me and Briss.
Well, I saw a lot of nice things about you.
Oh, thanks, Briz. I appreciate it. I say nice things about you too, both publicly and privately.
Oh,
Nita's got a question. I'm so confused. So do we need to do anything with the existing ICOSA? If you want to mint iBurn, you can take your ICOSA, either pICOSA or bridged over eICOSA, and you can pair that with Pulse, 1 to 1500 Pulse, the ICOSA to Pulse, and you can mint iBurn from there. So you don't need to do anything, but if you want to participate and you want to burn ICOSA and you want to create iBurn and mint it from there, you can mint it using the portal.
Yeah, and so we expect it took a couple months for GIF to really take off, and it's taken a month and a half, almost just shy of 2 months now since PGIF was released to see the actual looped arbitrage opportunity, both up and down, because there's an arbitrage both ways. And so we unfortunately didn't get to see that right away, and I think it's going to take a little while with ICOSA, but I think we will see a parity between the two ICOSAs. And you are correct, Max. It is a leverage play on Hex. If we can get those up high enough in price, they will spawn the auctions again. So